Hello, it's Rosemary Lonnie Knight. How are you doing? Okay, let's talk about becoming a lot more productive each and every day as you are now an entrepreneur. And frankly, you know what? We get one life. If we don't use the time in the best possible way, then we don't get as much done ultimately. We get limited time, so we want to make sure that we're being as productive as possible. The thing I'm discovering recently is just how much more is within me to do. And I wonder how much more is within you to do once you actually put yourself to the test. I think you would be incredibly surprised about what you are actually capable of once you try. Okay, so let's talk about a few different things. I think about 5 points here that I'm just going to mention today. It's all about affirming yourself for the things that you did, because this is the thing most of us go through life, or most people go through life, just telling themselves how they haven't done that well, how they're just rubbish, and that, oh my goodness, and then wonder why their self-esteem and self-belief is just really rubbish. Well, it's because you're not affirming yourself. You're waiting for somebody else to give you acknowledgement, and that, yeah, that could come, but you could just learn to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I've done good. Okay, you can try very hard to guilt yourself into doing more, but it doesn't work. Okay, you just do less. You just find yourself feeling less and less worthy, and you do less and less and less. So first of all, at the end of each day, just affirm yourself for what you have done that day. And yeah, make a list of stuff that you want to do the next day. That's sure for sure, but ultimately make sure you're speaking good thoughts and words to yourself, okay? Next thing is, don't just fill out your to-do list with lots of things that you never complete, because yeah, it might feel good for about 2 seconds to have to tick stuff off, but there's two things here. One, you generally tend to tick off the things that are not actually that big a deal, so you're not actually getting that much done. And two, you tend to feel really kind of incomplete because you have this long to-do list, up to 100 items or whatever, and you're not doing much. Every day you're looking at it and thinking, oh my God, am I ever going to get it all done? What's the point? Don't just fill your thing with things that you never complete, because it's just not so good. It just makes you feel not good enough again. And so therefore, bottom cycle ultimately. And then also, instead of just focusing in on the things that you don't want to do, or all the things that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing, and how you don't want this in your life anymore, and blah 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 blah, instead of thinking about all of that stuff, just think about the stuff that you do want to be doing in each day and fit that in first. Do that first. I mean, it's the whole eat the frog thing. You do the things that you do want to be doing every single day first, and then whatever is left, you get to do all the other stuff. But first of all, do the stuff that you do want to do, and that's how your life changes, is because you start to fit in more of the things that you want to do, and just kind of let the things that you don't want to do go to the wayside. Okay, so fit things in that you want, instead of just carrying on doing the same old stuff that you don't want to be doing and wondering why nothing is changing. That would be why, honey. Okay, now take regular breaks after concentrated work. So there's that whole Pomodoro technique where you just do 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break, and then you do another 25 minutes and you take a 5-minute break, just to kind of get your head in the right space. Because I remember when I was a pharmacist, we used to have to take a break after each time you prepared some drugs, and then you come back and look at it after you've taken even if it's just 10 seconds away from it, because then you see it again with new eyes, whereas before you might have been making a mistake and not realizing you're making a mistake because you just keep looking at the same thing. It starts to look like what you want it to look like, even though it's not. Okay, so the same with work. You want to be more productive, take regular breaks. When it comes to your lunch break, take half an hour, take a whole hour, go away from the place altogether and let your brain refresh, and then come back and keep doing it in 25-minute blocks, and you will be surprised what you get done. Okay, it's incredible what you get done once you allow yourself those little breaks that you're deliberately fitting into your life. Okay, the last thing is change your circle of influence. If you have people around you who are used to not doing very much and you used to do the same as them, you will ultimately always be the average of the people you hang around with. So if you're hanging around people who don't do very much, guess what? You will not do very much, and you'll think that this is the norm. Whereas if you upscale your circle of influence and move on to people who are getting stuff done, or you start working with a coach, you start working with a mentor, you will be incredibly surprised about what is truly possible for you. When you are held to account about the things that you're going to get done, you get them done. Okay? And then just last week, you might have thought, oh my God, writing one article was just really hard work. But then you suddenly find yourself writing 10. Okay, and you create 10 times as much because you're mixing with different people and you suddenly realize that you are the slowest and you don't want that to be the case, or you're getting held accountable by your coach or your mentor who's saying, come on, there is more inside of you, step into it. And then you realize, actually, there is more inside of me, okay? And you start to produce a lot more. So be very deliberate about the people you hang out with because you will always be the average of those people, okay? So that is it in terms of productivity. If you do want to find out more about being more productive, about also creating the life, the business that you want, promoting your business, all of that stuff, then come and get a free copy of the rosemarynonnynight.com at rosemarynonnynight.com /marketing hyphen blueprint. Again, it's rosemarynonnynight.com /marketing hyphen blueprint. Come and have a look at that. And then, hey, you might want to inquire about joining a mastermind, because then guess what? Your circle of influence starts to, up level. When you're hanging around people doing lots of stuff, maybe in 2 weeks time, 4 weeks time, it's 90 days, you would have made stuff happen in ways you didn't even think was possible. You want to find out more about the mastermind group? Then just get in touch with me. Wherever you're watching this or listening to this, there will be a way for you to contact me. Contact me, and then we will have a chat and see whether it's right for you. Okay, until the next time, bye.